Coming up today on Good Morning BU. Massachusetts gubernatorial candidates take to Comm Ave. We let you know where they stopped and what they're saying on the campaign trail.
And BU Athletics is getting a new deal. Addison Cummings breaks down the Hockey East television deal with ESPN.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if two BU alums had their very own podcast? Alex sat down with the hosts of And That's Why We Drink to find out.
And Film in Brookline is standing with Ukraine. Entertainment correspondent Stephanie Joseph visited a Ukrainian film screening to learn more.
And live from Comm, welcome to GMBU. I'm Chloe Liu.
And I'm Alex Dowd. Here are today's top stories. Massachusetts gubernatorial candidates took to Comm Ave this week, promoting their campaign promises. State Senator Sonia Chang Diaz spoke at BU's Howard Thurman Center on Monday night on housing inequality, future MBTA fares, and Boston's potential path to carbon neutrality. Chang Diaz called Boston's current plan, quote, not fast enough, and promoted her Green New Deal plans. Further west on Comm Ave, Attorney General Maura Healey joined Chang Diaz on Wednesday at WBUR City Space, again addressing the environment. Both Healey and Chang Diaz spoke on reducing fossil fuels, creating more jobs, and bringing more attention to environmental justice communities. Both candidates said that to tackle climate change, Boston needs to look at equity in communities vulnerable to the change.
We have to make sure that those communities that have been in the front of the line for the negative impacts are in the front of the line for the jobs, and not just the jobs, but the wealth creation.
Healey later added that green jobs are necessary for these communities.
Right now, if we match up what the jobs are that we know are going to be absolutely necessary to fill, it's a huge opportunity for empowerment. It's a huge opportunity for wealth creation. It's a huge opportunity for jobs.
And two construction workers filed a lawsuit on March 8th against BU and Suffolk Construction Company. They claim that the incident that occurred last year at BU's Center for Computing and Data Sciences was due to negligence. The building has been under construction since January of 2020 and is set to be completed this year. The plaintiffs, Mark Anthony Pratt II and William Smith, say that they were working on an upper level of the building's frame last May when a vertical metal beam fell, starting a chain reaction. According to their attorney, the pair requested a trial, and BU has until July 6th to respond to the lawsuit.
And Wednesday, April 27th was Denim Day. Denim Day is an international campaign made to bring awareness to sexual assault. Participants of this campaign are encouraged to wear jeans or other denim clothing items as a symbol of protest against assault. Organizations at Boston University joined together to recognize this day with exhibits around campus. Terriers Support Survivors hosted an event in the GSU where students could write a letter of support to survivors of sexual assault and pin it onto a display. BU's SARP and CGSA also raised awareness for this event by providing free ice cream for participants on the BU beach. GMBU stands in solidarity with survivors of sexual assault. Resources and support for survivors can be found online at www.rainwith2ns.org.
Now this weekend, as you're walking around town, you might notice that there are a few more streets closed around the North End. Now this weekend, as you're walking around town, you might notice that there are a few more streets closed around the North End. That's because starting Sunday, the region will officially be open for outdoor dining. Evan Jimenez is there right now with the details. What do you have for us, Evan?
Thanks, Chloe. So as you mentioned, outdoor dining begins this Sunday for restaurants in the North End that applied for the privilege. It's a month after outdoor dining began for restaurants across the rest of the city. You may remember that the Wu administration caused some controversy earlier this month by requiring businesses to pay a $7,500 fee to cover the cost of cleaning and other accommodations. That didn't sit right with a lot of businesses who felt they were being unfairly targeted by the city. Still, the Wu administration says they have received 67 applications so far for this season.
So, Evan, what are businesses saying in the lead up to this weekend?
Yeah, there's still some contention in a lot of parts of the North End. Some businesses like Vinoteca de Monica on Richmond Street are moving forward with outdoor dining, but are not happy about how the process went down. Owner George Mendoza told WCVB that he's actually filing a lawsuit against the city for $20,000 in damages received during the application process. Other businesses are a little more optimistic, with the Wu administration offering various fee waivers and payment plans to help soften the blow on some businesses. Still, the 67 applications received is a decrease from last year, where 77 businesses overall were accepted into the program, meaning some people are still likely a bit unhappy. Chloe?
7. Coming up on Good Morning BU, 2 BU alums take on the podcasting world. Alex sat down with them to talk podcasts, production, and the BU LA program.
And later, Stephanie Joseph takes us to a Ukrainian film screening in Brookline.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov/earthquake today.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Back. Boston Public School at Mission Hill is facing a potential closure after a recommendation from Superintendent Brenda Castillas. A 189-page investigation report revealed several allegations of sexual misconduct and bullying for up to 5 years. The school may have to close by the end of its academic year this June. Investigators reported a, quote, cult-like environment and found evidence of administrators undermining the safety of students by, quote, allowing patterns of unsafe sexual behavior and physical violence. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu said that a plan to provide the students and school community with sufficient support is underway, and she expressed her deep concern with the issue in an interview yesterday.
Look, as a mom and someone who gets up and gets my 2 kids ready to go to BPS every day, this is the stuff of nightmares, of what parents, families, caregivers worry about most.
And debate is raging in Cambridge this week following a city council meeting Monday evening, approving the construction of bike lanes along Massachusetts Avenue. The plan would allow for a partial reconstruction of Mass Ave near Porter Square to create protected bike lanes, which proponents say is long overdue. The plan would, however, remove or relocate several street parking spaces, which local businesses say could have devastating consequences for them as they recover from the pandemic. City Councilor Mark McGovern called the intersection one of the most dangerous in the city and said he wouldn't risk biker safety for a handful of parking spots.
For me to vote to delay this quick build in Porter Square proper would mean actively voting to keep a dangerous intersection unsafe in hopes that more time will lead to saving 17 parking spaces, give or take a few. And I can't do that.
A further planning meeting was held Thursday where updated plans show the section may lose only 7 parking spots as a result of the construction.
And in Roslindale, police arrested the first protester near Mayor Michelle Wu's house under the new protesting ordinance. The ordinance, which was passed in early March, prevents people from protesting in residential neighborhoods between 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. And that's exactly what Shannon Llewellyn did this Monday, where she was picked up by police around 7:45 a.m. Llewellyn is the first person arrested under the ordinance, but the Boston Globe reports that 10 people have received citations so far.
And Mayor Michelle Wu announces a plan to help the extreme heat in certain Boston communities. A task force will be launched to respond to extreme temperatures as well as cooling support for communities. A quote, cool bus stop and cool roof grant program is part of the plans. Wu announced these plans to prepare for the hot days in Boston on Earth Day. And with this plan, Boston will be equipped to handle the temperature increases in hotspots within Boston communities such as Dorchester, Chinatown, and Mattapan.
In the last decade alone, Boston suffered more hot days and nights than any decade in the last 50 years. We feel every summer that our weather patterns are changing and that climate change is here right now.
Coming up next, Alex spoke with some College of Communication alumni, M. Schultz and Christine Schieffer, to discuss their experience with the BU LA program and their podcast, And That's Why We Drink.
Told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Welcome back. Now, as comm students, our goal is to end up in the media business. And Alex, you spoke with 2 alumni who now own their own media company.
I did. I started out by asking them how their time at BU influenced their current careers.
If it weren't for BU taking me to LA and giving me the internships I did, I would have not met the people I did, including Christine, which is how we got here today. So,
including yours truly. Yes, I think that I would argue that's probably M's most influential relationship that they've made out of the BU program is probably meeting me, their co-host and co-producer.
I know that you used to write for Nickelodeon, Christine.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I started at BU for television, I knew I wanted to work in TV. I had no idea really what I wanted to do in TV, mostly because I didn't know what my options were. And so at BU, I was able to take a comedy screenwriting course, a drama screenwriting course, and pretty quickly realized I'm not Shonda. I can't do the drama thing.
And you mentioned that you met Christine through the BU LA program since you both went to BU.
Well, we knew of each other. Since we were in the program together, I remember sitting next to her in all of my classes. And we were in the comedy script writing class together. Well, after our internships, I guess the options are either you stay in LA and try to really foster those networking skills that you've learned in grad school, or you head back. And it just so happened that everyone in my friend circle moved back to Boston. I think the same happened for Christine. And I was like, oh man, I don't have any friends anymore. I need to meet somebody. And so I was like, that girl Christine from my class is out here. I should probably ask to hang out with her.
Fine, I guess.
And Christine, how would you describe your podcast to a newcomer?
Oh man, well, I like to warn people heading into it. It's pretty chaotic. But it is a true crime and paranormal show. So I would say it's not necessarily for the faint of heart, although some people just kind of skip the more brutal episodes, but it's also a comedy show. And I know that's kind of hard to reconcile in some people's minds, but essentially we kind of try to surround the show, like the darker topics, with some levity.
Have any of the skills here at BU helped prepare you?
I didn't even know there were so many different branches of working in TV, working in the media. And so now having our own company and having a lot of especially projects relating to media, like we just wrote a book, that kind of thing, all these different pieces. I feel like we have a leg up on companies, so it's pretty cool.
And you mentioned your book. Can you tell me a little bit more?
It was supposed to come out a little bit earlier, and now I think it's looking towards June that it's going to be coming out.
Yeah, it comes out June 14th as of right now, and we're very amped for people to pick it up and try it out.
Do you have any advice for graduates from our undergraduate or graduate program here at COM?
If you have an internship lined up, really try to get to know the people around you.
Especially relating to the podcast, just, be confident. I know that it can be really daunting out there, but we were winging it in LA in many ways, and sometimes you kind of have to do that.
Well, thank you all both so much. I really appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you. It's such an honor. This has been so fun.
Thanks, Alex. Coming up next, Addison Cummings brings us the latest on the Sports Report.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I've just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Hey, Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey, guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Welcome back. Next up, Addison Cummings will walk us through what's happening with sports. Take it away.
Thanks, Chloe. With the semester coming to a close, Boston University continues to break through. Many teams are setting records and making school history. Shout out to senior Megan Convery, who broke the university's steeplechase record last night at the Penn Relays. Convery finished 8th in her event with a time of 10 minutes and 22 seconds. while Comfrey is in today's front page headlines. BU's equestrian team jumped into the spotlight with a record season. Despite the team missing out on nationals by just 2 points, co-captain Elizabeth Nevins wouldn't be denied. She became the first terrier since 2018 to qualify for nationals. Part of this comes from her consistency in both flat and jumping events. The junior is the lone BU rider participating in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, with the full support of her 21-person team and the entire BU community. While Nevins is looking to claim a title for the university, the men's lacrosse team grabbed theirs this weekend. Senior Timmy Lai scored the game-winning goal with just 5 seconds remaining against Lehigh. The Terriers now sit at a 10-3 record and have clinched the school's first regular season title. This set a new program mark for highest win percentage in a regular season. Head coach Ryan Pulley had this to say after the thrilling victory.
To win a Patriot League championship, obviously it's a regular season championship, and we want to continue that through the playoffs. But it's a great league, and it's really hard, and just so proud of the guys and how they've tackled this season, and all their hard work has paid off.
While the men's lacrosse team continues to grow, so does the opportunity to stream BU athletics. GMBU sports correspondents met with members of the school's sports media department to discuss the implications of a massive new media rights deal. On April 6, Hockey East reached a new 6-year media rights agreement with ESPN and ESPN Plus that will bring our school's hockey conferences to ESPN's television and streaming platforms. The league also announced a multi-year extension with its partnership with Nesson. Brian Kelly, Associate Athletic Director for Marketing and Communications, breaks down what this deal really means.
The Patriot League signed a deal with ESPN Plus, so all of our other sports have been on ESPN Plus the past 2 years. Now we're thrilled to sign this deal, have Hockey East sign this deal, and now all of our streaming will be on the same platform. The greatest impact for sure is ESPN's deal with the NHL and how that's why it's a 6-year deal. So ESPN and NHL this is their first year of a 7-year contract. One of the things that we have that some of the other schools in Hockey East don't is really an alumni base that's across the country.
In addition to our players, this media rights agreement will impact the roles of students in the sports broadcasting world. Brady Gardner and Patrick Donnelly, two of BU's most involved sports journalists, share their thoughts on the big news.
Since there's more games being broadcast on ESPN Plus, it's more opportunities for students to get involved, whether it's production or on the camera.
I think for BU specifically, you think of BU men's hockey and just the Boston University community in general, and it's just such a widespread fan base of alumni who end up all over the world, or students who come from all over the world. It's just such a global fan base, and I think now ESPN Plus is something you can watch anywhere for a low price, anywhere in the country or in the world. And I think it's just awesome that people are going to have that access, whether they are here in Boston, they want to put on a game when the team is traveling, or whether they're on the other side of the country and they want to be able to watch games at Agganis Arena and feel like they're there. I think having it on ESPN Plus just makes it so much more accessible to anyone, really, no matter where they are.
Thanks, Addison. Coming up next, Stephanie Joseph takes us to a Ukrainian film screening in Coolidge Corner.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back. On Sunday, the Coolidge Corner Theater hosted a Ukrainian film screening with all proceeds going to help support the war effort. Stephanie Joseph was on the scene to tell us more.
Local residents are outside of the Coolidge Corner Theater for a special screening and discussion of The Guide. The 2014 Ukrainian film is about the lives of an orphaned boy and a blind singer during Soviet-led extermination in 1930s Ukraine. The showing was a part of a larger fundraising event called Stand With Ukraine Through Film. Deputy Director Beth Gilligan says the theater was eager to host Sunday's event to help Ukraine amid Russia's invasion.
Film is such an amazing empathy generator for people to learn more about the history of Ukraine and its people as they experience such a difficult time. It seemed like a great opportunity to shed a light on that and also to raise money for such a good cause.
A trio of musicians greeted people with music and played Ukraine's national anthem before speakers addressed the audience. Among them was U.S. Senator Ed Markey of Massachusetts and State Senate Majority Leader Cynthia Cream.
Here in Massachusetts, we stand against the appalling invasion, and we stand with the Ukrainian people on the side of peace, freedom, democracy, and truth.
The film's director Oles Sanin also said a few words in a recorded video message.
Я хочу вам подякувати, перш за все, що ви прийшли сьогодні і будете дивитися цей фільм. Дякую за ваш внесок в те, щоб зараз Україна трималася.
Groups helping in and around Ukraine will receive the funds from ticket sales through the Human and Civil Rights Organizations of America. Newton resident Larissa Hordinsky says she was at the theater to pass out flyers and vocalize support for Ukraine as her family is confronted with the war abroad.
My relatives are in Lviv in western Ukraine, so they are, for the moment, they are unharmed and safe and coping, and they're all doing everything they can right now to help refugees.
April 24th may have been the only day to see The Guide in Brookline, but Hordinsky says continuing to show solidarity in any way remains crucial.
I just want to urge everybody to keep on supporting Ukraine. This war is going to last a long time.
At the Coolidge Corner Theater, I'm Stephanie Joseph for Good Morning BU.
Thanks, Stephanie. And that'll do it for us this season at GMBU. Thank you as always for tuning in this semester. And on a personal note, this is also my last broadcast here at BUTV 10, as I will be graduating in a couple of weeks. It's been the experience and pleasure of a lifetime to work with both the team here at GMBU and folks at the station. I'm eternally grateful for the opportunities I had here to learn and grow.
And on that note, we want to say thanks to all the spectacular seniors as you embark on your new journeys. Our producer, David Tay, our director, Liz Dustin, and of course, my wonderful co-anchor, Chloe Liu. Thank you all for all of the work that you've done on this show.
Well, thank you, Alex, for being a great co-anchor. So for the last time, for BUTV 10, I'm Chloe Liu.
And I'm Alex Babb. Stay safe and have a wonderful summer.